Pilots, welcome back to Motion RC. You're here with your pilot Ryan and Captain Mike. We are super excited to be bringing you the video for the 1500 millimeter B-26 Marauder from Dynam. This is really first step in the right direction with Dynam. We've got Tomcat motors and new Skylord ESCs set to spin inboard just out of the box. When the plane does show up, you'll see that the whole middle section is put together. Most of the work is done for you. Of course, you have to screw on the horizontal and the vertical, but the outboard wing panels go in with just 2 screws and a couple leads, servos, flaps, and lights. The lights now have a driver with the ends already soldered on, and on the driver there are 5 spots, 2 for solid and like 3 blinkers. And of course you can Y off of this and just plug it into any channel on your receiver and you're good to go. As all planes, you really have to do some maintenance, so work your hinges loose. I've put a little bit of oil on my control rods just to help them move freely through the plane. Let's show the landing gear right now while we're at it. Big tires, this should go really good on the grass. And check out this flap hardware. Let's go ahead and deploy those. And one thing I like to do too is I've made sure that all these were, I did some CA just for insurance. You don't want to do too much here because that's where your business happens. The linkage is right there. Super cool. 1 screw, 2 screws, you slide that panel off. Fantastic. We like our battery right there, and we are flying on the Dynam Gavin 6C. So whatever it takes to CG it on these lines right there. There's the 2 angles, and then this line right here, wheels down like that. That's how we like it. Our 4Cell 4000 does really great there. Check out the gun turret, movable. Now somebody's going to get handy and hook up a servo to that, I'm sure. And then access to the wing, if you want to take the wing off to get to the internals, is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, magnetic panel, 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets. Very, very cool. One other thing, sorry Mike. Water slide decals, this is just the customizer's dream. You start with silver, which is awesome. The cals, you can come off and make those however dirty that you want. This is really prone to breaking. Mine broke already just trying to take it out once before transport. So I've used some CA to kind of fill it around the crack. And then I used a screw from the other side to come in from the bottom and stiffen that up where it's weakest. Any screw will work. I used one of those screws that you strip the heads on, but it'll be fine for foam. It's awesome. I love this. I'm going 5 minutes with our 4S 4000. These are coming with, can you see that, Mike? The yellow XT60 comes from the factory now. So get our little Deans to XT60 adapter and you'll be good to go. Pilots, let's take this thing up. It's really a lot of fun, and I like flying it super scale. It'll do some tricks, and it's got pretty decent vertical for what it is, but I really enjoy flying at scale. Let's go. Ease into the power. Back pressure, activate. Low rates, gear are up. Flying no gyro assistance whatsoever on this one. And I am full into the coals. And for a bomber, I think it moves around pretty good. Now let's give it a little bit of vertical. It pulls up with authority through the loop. I really like it. We're going to do a roll. Not a whole lot of down pressure actually inverted. I think it's a really nice feeling model. Our first flights were on a really windy day. I was going with the gyro. I've got the training wheels off. Nothing wrong with training wheels, by the way. And it flies really good. CG it for your first flights. Of course, default to forward on that. We're going to go with one position of flaps. And drop the gear. Check that out. And they're like true Fowler flaps. Now, just make sure that you mind those hinges so you have a nice deployment of flaps. Also, double check that when your flaps are extended, your ailerons and flaps don't bind up with each other. There may be a slight outward movement to the flap panel. Look at that. And I'm out of here. Sweet. Dude, this thing is just as nice without a gyro as it is with. So you want to make sure your flap and ailerons don't bind up. I did a little bit of sanding actually on my flap and aileron to make sure that when I was full flaps, I wasn't binding up. A little left rudder, a little right aileron, that's the kind of cross control correction I'm needing today. Do one more time. When you set it up, look at that, just milk it. That was cool. When you set it up, make sure your rudder's not getting into your elevator movement. Make sure you're not too high of a throw on that rudder because you don't want to bind up your elevator and rudder. So let's go full flaps now. Full flaps. Just a beaut, and we're up again. We've noticed no necessity to incorporate a down mix on this one. So 5 minutes mixed throttle has been just right with our 4S 4000. You guys who have 3600s will be fine as well. Just move it forward again. All you got to do is make sure you hit CG as the way I showed you for your first flights. That's a great first step for Dynam. We're working on them to help get the manuals a little more clear and a little more instruction. But really, what a great base for customization. The invasion stripes are painted on. They just look better that way. And then of course you got a silver base scheme and the one set of decals. Yeah, we've worked with Callie to develop some more. Now I'm getting into the rudder big time and trying to do some flat turns out here. A lot of opposite aileron. Sorry, Mike. I'm impressed with this guy, I really am. All right, now, gear down, full flaps, nice and dirty, nose up, look at that. Now we're not going to turn ailerons sharp, we're going to go rudder, so we can keep it nice and slow, not lose any lift. And I am going to do, what do you want, Mike, grass or the runway?
I'm going to do grass.
Let's do grass. It's doing great on the runway, obviously. But it's those big wheels do really good on the grass. And they're wheel collars, so it'd be really easy to change them. Pilot's the Dynam B-26 1500 millimeter wingspan. Lots of room for customization, cool mods. This is going to be fantastic. There's guys on our Hobby Squawk forums who have already done some cool graphics for the nose gunner and the couple pilots there. Just super cool. Reverse threaded hubs, so you're not having to worry about the counter-rotating props throwing one of your hubs off. Super cool. Nice, newly redesigned retracts. Guys, this is a great first step for Dynam. We're there on the ground floor with them. We got our guy in the factory. We're talking every day to make sure that this thing is dialed in. You know where to get it, motionrc.com. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Google+. We're on Instagram and Twitter now as well. And please don't forget to jump in the conversation at the Hobby Squawk forums. We'll see you there. Guys are going to be really tricking these out. Come check out everybody's progress. For Captain Mike on the camera, this is your Pilot Ryan on the sticks. See you next time.